The Digital Age, Prophecy and the Rise of Control Systems. For centuries, people have looked at ancient texts and wondered whether they were simply symbolic or something more. One passage that often sparks debate is from the Book of Revelation, written nearly 2,000 years ago. It describes a time when a mark would be required to buy or sell, placed on the hand or forehead. For most of history, this idea was interpreted metaphorically. After all, no one could imagine a world where such a system could actually exist. But today, with rapid technological advancement, some are beginning to question whether this concept might have a more literal parallel in the modern world. A world in transition. We are living through a massive shift from the industrial age to what many call the intelligent age. In this new era, power is no longer based purely on physical resources, but on data, knowledge, and digital systems. This transformation is reshaping everything: how we communicate, how we work, how economies function. And at the center of this shift is a growing integration of technology into everyday life. The rise of digital identity. One of the most talked about developments is the emergence of biometric identity systems. For example, new technologies now allow individuals to verify their identity through unique biological markers, like an iris scan. This creates a digital identity that proves you are a real human being in an increasingly AI-driven world. Supporters argue this solves a real problem. In a world full of bots and deepfakes, how do you prove you're human? But critics raise concerns. Biometric data cannot be changed like a password. Long-term privacy risks are uncertain. Centralized identity systems could be misused. Despite these concerns, millions of people have already adopted such systems voluntarily, mainly for convenience. Programmable money, the future of finance. At the same time, money itself is evolving. Traditional cash is neutral. You can spend it anywhere, anytime. But digital currencies, especially programmable ones, introduce a new concept: money that comes with rules. Imagine currency that expires after a certain time, can only be used in specific locations, restricts certain types of purchases. While these features could reduce fraud and improve efficiency, they also introduce a new level of control over how money is used. Data, surveillance, and infrastructure. Alongside identity and finance, there's a third major component: data infrastructure. Around the world, there is a rapid expansion of AI data centers, surveillance systems, satellite networks, smart city technologies. These systems are designed to process enormous amounts of data, tracking movement, behavior, and transactions in real time. Individually, each of these developments has practical benefits: better security, improved services, more efficient systems. But together, they create something entirely new: the three pillars of a new system. Some analysts describe this emerging framework as being built on three core pillars. Programmable money controls how financial resources are used. Digital identity verifies who you are. Surveillance infrastructure tracks behavior and activity. When combined, these systems could theoretically link every transaction to a verified identity, monitor behavior continuously, enforce rules automatically. This doesn't require traditional enforcement like police or courts. Instead, access itself becomes the mechanism of control. Control versus convenience. It's important to note, none of these technologies are inherently good or bad. Digital ID can simplify life. Smart systems can improve safety. Programmable money can reduce crime. The real debate lies in how these tools are used and who controls them. History shows that during times of crisis, societies often accept changes that would otherwise face resistance. Events like pandemics or economic instability can accelerate the adoption of new systems. A question of interpretation. So, does all of this connect to ancient prophecies? That depends on perspective. Some see parallels between modern systems and symbolic warnings from the past. Others believe these are simply natural outcomes of technological progress. What's clear is this: humanity is entering a phase where technology, identity, and finance are becoming deeply interconnected. Final thoughts. We are not just witnessing innovation, we are witnessing the creation of systems that could redefine how society operates. The key questions moving forward are: who controls these systems? How transparent are they? And how much freedom will individuals retain within them? Whether this future becomes empowering or restrictive will depend not just on technology, but on the choices we make as a global society. If you want, I can turn this into a or add